We're live.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Love and Marriage podcast on this beautiful Wednesday evening. I am your host, Wendy O. This is my co-host, Hotep Jesus, on the Hotep Jesus YouTube channel. So make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, set alerts, and catch all of Hotep's other content that he's got. So what do you have? What else do you have going out this week?
Oh, let's see. Hotep's been told you Thursday, Friday. Speaking to one of my Hebrew Israelite brothers. Um,
My people.
yeah. Um, Saturday, Mogul Summit, my class I do every Saturday. Helping entrepreneurs reach their goals. Yeah. Why? What else? Am I missing something?
No, I just
Oh, all
wanted I
right.
wanted you to plug yourself.
Oh yeah,
I'm,
yeah.
I'm
Hell
try-
yeah.
Let me help you, okay? Let me help you right now.
Oh! You know who I'm talking to tomorrow?
Who?
Your homegirl.
Who?
How do you say her name? Hold on, I'm gonna tell you right now. It's in my calendar. Leia.
Okay, is that the Leia Hepburn, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's dope. She came on my channel before.
Okay.
Yeah, she's another crypto gal. Are you going on her channel or she's coming on your channel?
I'm going on hers.
Amazing. Yeah, she's really, really cool. She does a lot of really cool TikToks and she's very involved about politics and stuff like that, which is I think is awesome. I tried to stay away from politics on my Twitter
Yeah.
because I don't have patience for people. I pulled a Hotep last week and I blocked a bunch of fucking people. A
Did you?
lot.
What'd you
A
do?
lot.
What'd you say to trigger him?
What did I say? So what happened was I took a project to come on my show and I vetted the project. It looked good. Everybody on crypto Twitter was talking about it, but apparently, like a couple of weeks later, the guy exit scammed, and so people got mad at me for doing a paid interview, that I disclosed it, but they didn't get mad at any of the other men in the space that were paid shilling it. The people that didn't disclose it, but they got mad at me because I disclosed it. So I just I talked to my community about them. I let them know what happened. They know that I do sponsored content. They don't have a problem with it. But these people, these other YouTubers that are clout chasing, the smaller guys, what they do, the guys in crypto, what they do, and it's a marketing tactic. They're like, I'm going to come wreck Wendy, and Wendy's a scammer. Wendy's this, Wendy's that. But what they do is they come for the larger accounts because they want to gain clout, and they'll literally write all these articles. There was one guy in particular. He had an article about me and another YouTuber that I know, basically calling us scammers and stuff, and he put in the article, go to their channels and harass them and ask them questions about what happened. So I started getting rape and death threats. And this guy was in my public Telegram group, and I lost it on him. And I just basically tell him, I was like, if you don't take this down, I'm going to pursue charges against you because I'm getting threats. I've had people throwing racial slurs at me, calling me a Jew bee, and calling me all these crazy things. And then the rape and the death threats. He's like, well, I would never support that or incite that. I was like, but you said in your article, go reach out to them. When you're telling somebody and inciting that, people that this incel mentality, this herd mentality, they take that as we're going to go attack. And so they don't know how to talk to women. So that happened. But I just started blocking people, and I put a post out. I was like, if you guys want to debate with me, if you want to talk to me, you want to say, hey, Wendy, I don't like the way you do this, maybe do this, come in my Telegram group. Let's talk about it. But don't clout chase me. Don't do that stuff. I'm just going to block you because you're not helping me make money. You're not helping my community. So that was that.
Mm, mm. A lot of little dick energy.
That's what it is. And that's okay. God gave them little dicks and they can't grow it, and they probably can't afford to get the surgery. So what are you going to do?
Yeah, yeah. It's such a shame, such a shame. I can't relate. I cannot relate at all. Unfortunately, they were born with those circumstances, which their ego has failed to overcome. It's such a shame that they have to resort to such vile language, such vile behavior, and punch down and attack a woman. That's disgraceful. And these people should not have a platform if they're gonna act like that. Posting on these blogs and whatnot. But I'm glad you recognize that these people have recognized your power and trying to grift off of the
Hmm.
Wendy O show. because
That's
that's
what they're
really
trying.
what this comes
That's what
down
they
to.
want to do is because they've seen other people come for me and attack me, and they think I'm an easy target, but I'm really not, because what I do in the space, not only am I'm different because I'm a female in the space. Gender really doesn't matter too much in what we do, but it's an obvious difference. But no one could really touch me as far as what I do, because I do a little bit of everything. I trade, I do interviews, I actually work in the space, and that's fine. They're mad because they're feeling that they're not making money or compensating. If I had to, I could rely on trading for income. I wouldn't necessarily have to rely on like partnerships and marketing and business development stuff. So it is what it is. It comes with the territory. And one day I will be a millionaire and I will retire. I'll have somebody working all my socials for me, and I will just be living it up.
Oh yeah, I can't wait to disappear to Thailand, trade with the Buddhist monks, and have my intern run my account.
Okay.
Those are the beautiful days that await me in the future. People who ain't moving are always mad at the people moving.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so we the movers and shakers. They are the losers and haters.
Ooh, I like that one. That should be in a rap song.
It should be. We are the movers and shakers. They are the losers and haters. And you just can't stop the shining.
It is what it is. But I got a feel good story. You might cry a little bit, but I'm gonna tell it to you because it
Okay.
almost made me cry. So I'm at the gym with my trainer, Miss Nita, and we're training. We had a really really amazing session. And there's a fish shop that's been in the city for about 80 years. Been there for a long time, and everybody goes there. There's people, all different cultures, races. Everybody goes there to eat because the food is so good. It's been there forever. And you see a lot of Bentleys parked outside there, BMWs and whatnot. I feel like a lot of people that came up in my city, they come back to eat at this place just because it's so well known. So I'm boxing, I'm sweating, and this little boy comes in. He's about 7 years old. He comes in. He's got his mask on, and he's standing at the door. And it's just me and her in the gym because the other boys had went home. And so I stop what I'm doing because I see a baby, and I'm like, I look at my trainer, and she's like, keep going, I'll talk to him. So I hear him talking. He's just looking. She's like, are you okay, babe? He's like, yeah, I'm okay. And he's like, I'm just watching. She's like, okay. He's real timid, real shy, real tiny. He's about 7 years old. He's like, I'm just watching. She's like, okay. And then he goes back to the car, and then he comes a couple minutes later, comes back in. She's like, you could come inside if you want. He's like, okay. So he comes in, and he's just staring, watching, and I'm smiling at him, whatever. So his sister comes in. His sister's maybe about 10 years old. And she goes, can we film you guys for our Instagram? Can we film you guys for the Instagram? And I was like, she's like, do you mind? I said, no, not at all. Go ahead. And so they were like really excited. Then he started feeling comfortable because his sister was there. And then the sister goes, can my brother get in the boxing ring so I could take a picture of him because he loves boxing. He's got gloves at home. He loves to box. The sister's louder. He's not, he's real shy. And my trainer's like, yeah, of course, just, be careful. So then they were done with that, and they went to the car, and then her and we got in the ring, and I told her, I says, Nita, I said, girl, I says, go, I says, they're still outside. I says, go tell, I says, I'll pay for that little boy's training. I'll pay for the little boy's training for the month. And she's like, you serious? And I says, yeah, I'm serious. Cause she goes, it's $60 though. And I go, I got it. Don't worry. That's okay. I got it. So, and I could feel, so she went to go get him. But when you feel somebody's energy and you just feel the timidness. And then I found out how old he was. He was 7 years old. And that's when that's the age my parents had got divorced.
Uh,
So I just remember feeling, pain and just my stuff. But then I just noticed he seemed real timid, and he seemed just like he needed a hug, but
uh,
he's not my baby. I can't go hug him,
yeah.
So they come back in with grandma, and she goes, I'm not, she's like, are the kids okay? Were they bad? And my Nita's like, no, they were good. They're good. She's like, she's like, she's like, and then she explained what they do at the gym. It's a nonprofit really focusing on, depression, anxiety, getting kids confident, getting them off the streets. And she goes, this beautiful woman over here wants to go ahead and pay for your son's training, sponsor him for the month. And she goes, but I'm not the mom. She's like, but the mom's on the phone. So she gets the phone, she gives it to Miss Nita, and the mom was like fixing her calf. She's all, girl, don't worry, you don't have to fix your calf, it's okay. And so she told her, she's like, she's going to sponsor your son for the month of August or October. We opened there, and the little boy, when he heard that, because he didn't hear it the first time, he was just so happy. His face lit up. His sister was like cheering for him. They were like so excited. It just felt really good, because I don't know what their financial situation is. I don't know. I didn't see the dad there, but
Yeah.
when you see a little kid and you're just like, they're going without something.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they're going to come back in October 1st, and he's going to come train for the month. And I wanted,
What's that young man's name?
I don't know what his name is. I didn't get it.
Well, you tell that young man Hotep Jesus is going to sponsor November's month.
Okay. All right.
That's he got 2 months of training now.
All right.
And anybody that like to pay for little juniors boxing lessons, go ahead and super chat right now, and I'll make sure that fund goes directly to his fund for that young man to go in that gym and train and get himself some good discipline. I love it. It's a great place for a young man to be.
And I wanted to share it on Twitter, but I didn't want to be like, I wasn't telling the story just so anybody watching this, I'm not telling it to boast about it, but it just, you're my friend, and this show is about, we talk about love, marriage, and relationships, but it's also a feel good thing. We want to talk about uplifting other people, and so yesterday, I just sitting and thinking, I'm like, I have to do something to help the community. I want to do something. I want to give back more, because I can sponsor this kid for the rest of the year. $60 a month is fine. Like, I got that all day. But so I tweeted something out, and I want to set up either a charity, or I want to set up a way to get money to different martial art places across the country, to where it goes directly to fund. Like, I don't want to take any
sponsor a kid to come train.
Yeah, that's what I want to do. So
Yeah.
I talked to my trainer, and I says, can I set up a GoFundMe? We can get some money for some of the kids, to come in, and it'll go directly to their training. She's like, you bet your effing ass we can. So I'm gonna figure out some stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and do that probably in the next month. Once I have to make sure exactly when the gym is opening, because with COVID, we don't know.
Right.
But this kid's face just lit up, and it just felt good, because, these kids are stuck at home. They're bored. Moms are stressed, dads are stressed. And it just, I don't know. So I came up with the name for the charity that and it's going to be called Benjamin's Branch, because that was my dad's name. He did martial arts, and he used to give away a lot of free training to people. He did an all women's class at a community college, taught them self-defense if somebody came to try to attack them. He did that for free.
Awesome.
And Branch, because I want to reach it as far as I can. So this is something I'm going to be working on in the future. So and I'm probably going to tap you in for help on how to orchestrate it, and make sure that it's transparent, and make sure that that these kids are getting the money so they can go ahead and get their training done.
We believe that children are the future.
They are the future.
Teach them well and let them lead the way. Show them all the beauty they possess inside. Man, I'm telling you.
I'm going to clip that.
Yo, what Kanye said, man, listen to the kids, bro. Mm-hmm. You gotta nurture life. That's the best investment. I invest a lot of my time. My retirement plan is my kids. That's my retirement plan. And I invest a lot of time in them. They do very well.
So yeah, I was real emotional about it yesterday. I'm not gonna cry, but it's
very touching.
It's just sweet. Like,
it's very touching.
I made that kid's day, and I made my day to be able to help him. I was just so happy that I was there. And it was funny, because I had walked in the gym, and she's like, I don't have you today. I go, yes, you do, girl. And she goes, no, I don't. I says, yes, I do. And I said, you want me to go? She's all, no, come in and train, because she had mixed her days up. So if I would have left, that would have never happened. And anyways, though.
Well, guess what?
What?
Natasha Kayleen has paid for a month of training for that young man. Shout out to Natasha Kayleen. Checking in on a super chat. Look at that. So he's good all the way to Christmas.
I appreciate it. And this little boy, he's going to be very, very grateful. So thank you again. Thank you so much. And thanks for giving that shout out. But that's something that I'm going to work on. I'm going to do. But let's get into some juice.
Let's talk juice.
So Kanye went off today again,
Sure did. I loved every
and
minute of it.
I actually enjoyed it. I understood what he was saying. A lot of people think that he's crazy. He's not, but he's I don't know him. I don't know a whole lot about him, but I can tell that artistic people, very intelligent people, they are very different than other people. Some people have social skills, and I'm sure he does too. But the way he presented himself was that he's a little bit crazy when he's talking. But I understand what he's saying. He's very artistic and unique. But I think what he's doing is a good thing. My favorite part of the Kanye thing was the toilet part.
Oh yes. Oh, classic moment in history. Yeah, I mean, it deserves to be in history books. Absolutely.
But what were your thoughts? Just a quick breakdown.
Hotep, yay! Shout out to Hotep, yay! Free speech, yay! The greatest human being to exist since Michael Jackson. He's bringing that raw Tupac energy.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. Raging Against the Machine. I love it. Crazy. The word crazy, people use the word crazy. I like to believe that the people who are crazy are actually operating on levels that others cannot achieve. Everybody else is normal. Normal means controlled.
Mm-hmm.
Normal means fluoridated, pacified, pussified, might as well be mummified. Kanye's a free man talking. They say I was crazy. And to that, I say I am. I'd rather be crazy than normal.
Mm-hmm.
And Kanye says, name one genius that ain't crazy. Crazy is really means dynamic.
Mm-hmm.
There's many facets to ourselves that we don't understand. And we talk about the subject of mental health. I don't think there's been a time in history where more people have suffered from mental health issues. And those people are not Kanye. Kanye is not one of those people. The people who suffer from the mental issues are the people who do not understand Kanye. The ones who hurl invective comments at Kanye. They are the ones.
Well, I was happy to see him come out what he was talking about because he's 100% right. The music industry, a lot of people do have to sell their souls. If you want to get anywhere big, you have to know somebody. If mama or dada was in the industry and they knew person X, Y, and Z, that helped. And a lot of people don't understand. They're like, well, we'll get an attorney, get a better contract, and blah, 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 do X, Y, and Z. But really, at the end of the day, when you're given an opportunity and you come from the streets or you're really poor and you don't take that opportunity when it's given to you, they're going to give it to someone else because everybody's replaceable, especially in the music industry. They use them as tools.
Big facts.
So
big facts. We just got 2 more months covered for the young man. Raider has contributed $60. James 954 Hotep has contributed $60. So that covers them till 2021. Woo!
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
That might be the next champ right there.
Could you imagine if this kid ends up going and becoming the next Mike Tyson?
That would be beautiful.
I would be so happy. This episode will be remembered.
Oh yes.
Forever. So let's talk a little bit about, there's another gossip story I want to talk about.
Okay.
So Cardi B and Offset, they're getting a divorce. It's rumored.
Oh yes.
Let's talk about that a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Do we have any of this information confirmed? Do we have any video footage of Cardi B coming out of her mouth and saying I'm filing for a divorce? What's the proof we have? What did TMZ say?
So I checked TMZ. I didn't see anything on TMZ, but I went to TikTok because TikTok has the tea. They always got the
Okay.
tea over there.
All right.
So I that's actually where I found out that they were getting split up. They were getting a divorce. There's a lot of YouTubers comment, or not YouTubers, TikTokers commenting about it. I'm like, okay, cool. And then someone was like, this is the reason why they're getting divorced. So somebody had posted a video, and it was Offset playing a video game, and he's like on his phone texting, and then he presses some like of the voicemail something or whatever, and you hear this woman just screeching and yelling at him like she's like coming out the side of her neck for him. And then you hear Cardi in the background, and then he like puts the phone away because she's like, babe, are you okay? Is everything okay? Da-da-da-da. So then she walks in, and he's like, yeah, babe, everything's okay. And don't know if I heard this correctly because it was hard to hear, but it sounded like after she left, he's like, oh shit, she almost found out I was cheating, and it was like on a stream or something that he had.
Mm. 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 Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm. Mm. You have a link to this video?
I have to find it, and I'll send it to you. It's on
I'd like
TikTok.
to. I'd love to see this video.
Let me go. Let me go back because I liked it. Let me see if I can find it. Let me check.
Pull that video up. Pull that video up ASAP.
Okay.
I want to know.
Oh
I want
no.
to give my own critical analysis since we're in the mood to do analyses today.
You know what? It's not showing.
It's not showing. I predict this is fake news.
You predict it's fake news.
I think this is fake news.
Why?
Until I see Cardi confirm this could just be Hollywood hoopla to keep celebrities relevant.
But he did cheat on her already.
Yeah, that is true. That is true.
But you know that's something that happens. It's not unheard of that
Yeah, yeah.
that somebody's cheating on the partner, especially in the music industry, especially when you're dealing with musicians, when you're dealing with rappers or rock stars. That's what kind of comes with the territory. Hence why I did not marry my ex-boyfriend, because that's just what happens. He said he never cheated, but you know how that goes. And if he did, that's fine. I'm not mad or whatever, but part of the deal, part of the package.
Yeah, yeah. For many people, it is. Yes, in that industry, absolutely. Yeah.
Well, we'll have to talk a little bit more about it next week. We'll get some more confirmation. But let's go ahead and move over to difficult females, how to deal with difficult females, because, and I want
Mm.
to get, I'll chime in a little bit here and there, but I really want to get your take on a lot of this stuff because you're very non-biased when we talk about this stuff. I like to get a little bit emotional about it because I'm an emotional creature. I'm a woman. That's what we do. But I want to talk about because we talked about we talked about difficult mother-in-laws, difficult in-laws. We talked about that already on a previous show. But I want to know, and you spilled a little bit of tea how you handle like when you're having a little bit of issues going on or whatnot in the past and whatever with like girlfriends or whatever. So maybe we can talk a little bit about the dynamic, how you deal with a difficult female as far as a girlfriend. Maybe a family member like a daughter or a cousin or whatever, and then work and acquaintances, because they're all different relationships, they're all different dynamic. Maybe your wife, maybe she has a female friend that you just do not get along with, and how do you
Mhm.
deal with that woman? So what do you want to start off with first, the girlfriend or you want to talk about that one, or should we skip that one?
Well, they were all very similar anyway.
Okay, well, let's talk about let's not say girlfriend because you are a married man now.
Oh yeah. Well, engaged.
Well, I'm just gonna say I'm gonna say married. That's
Let's
easier for
let's
me.
just call it what it is. I'm engaged. You know,
Okay, fine.
it's so that when I am married, it has that
Okay,
good feeling, right? That like, yeah, we did it. You know what I mean?
okay. You still got to go through all that stuff. I get it.
Yeah.
All right. So your fiance. So
Hmm.
let's talk about we'll just be vague. We'll just say a partner, a female partner that you're in a relationship with. How do you deal with that when they're being a little bit difficult? Maybe it's that time of the month.
Hmm.
Maybe it's a political thing that she feels a certain way about X, but you feel a certain way about it, and there's a difference there. Or let's say she wants her mother to come stay with you, and you're like, nah, I'm not feeling it. Just like little stuff like that. You guys are already together, you're already living together. How do you deal with that difficult woman?
First thing we got to understand is compromise. There's always has to be room for compromise, and I think two level-headed people shouldn't have a problem with that. But your relationships with people are wholly based around where you draw the line. Where do you draw the line in the relationships you have with people? Where do you draw the line in with how they address you? Where do you draw the line with how much you share? How much you share about yourself? How much you share about yourself is going to determine, and also what you share about yourself, what you show. If you show yourself, if you even show yourself, or
Yeah,
how much of yourself do you show?
but if you're living with the person, you're at the point where you're living with them.
Doesn't matter.
It does that. Okay, see, I'm going to need a little bit more of an explanation for that because it does matter. Because when you are living with somebody, you are who you are. Once you guys are living together, like with me and my man knows who I am. I know who he is. You know, we know each other completely. And
Where do you draw the line?
I don't draw the line.
You draw the line somewhere. You're not going to let him just treat you any type of way. Where do you
Oh,
draw the line?
he won't because he'll catch his hands.
Oh, see that?
Just kidding.
But there's a line where he about to catch them hands, right?
Yeah, there
Okay.
is.
So that line is going to determine the level of respect that you garner. And relationships are wholly based around respect, reputation. Dealing with a difficult woman means, first of all, if a woman's being difficult around you, it just simply means you the bitch. Use a bitch. You know, a difficult woman could never get away with being difficult around a man. He wouldn't give her anything.
But what happens if it's at the time of the month and she's just feeling a little bit emotional? Or let's say you guys just have a baby. Because I know me, after we had the baby, I was really emotional. I had postpartum. So
Sure.
do you let them have a little bit of leeway then because they're going through some personal stuff or they're going through some not even personal, some biological stuff?
What do you do when the dog's barking?
You give it love and
There you
comfort
go.
him.
There you go. There you go. You find out what's wrong with the dog, right? Why the dog? Why are you barking, dog? Come here. Come on. Come have a seat. Let me rub your ear. Right?
Hmm.
Same thing. We're all humans. We're all mammals. We all have the same thing. Just because the dog is barking doesn't mean you got to bark back.
Okay. Right.
Relax. Be in control of self. When
But
you're in control of self, you control the room.
that's right. So you can, so okay. So if you're able to control yourself as a
Yeah.
man,
Uh-huh.
then you can control the woman, but not when you say control, just for anybody that's watching this, I don't,
Control the room,
the room.
not
That's
the
what I need.
woman.
Right.
The room. You
The
see, this
attitude,
works.
the air.
This supersedes gender. This is how you are with all people. Notice in the beginning of the conversation when I said, with all people, where do you draw the line? This is
Hmm.
not a gender specific thing.
Okay.
Where you draw
But
the line doesn't mean like, you go off and you're upset and everything.
well, I kind of have to disagree because the way that you deal the way you deal with a man is going to be different the way you deal with a woman.
Okay, how?
Okay, so if let's say I'm with okay, let me think of a good example. The
Because
way
I
I
deal with them the same for the most part.
Well, I don't know. See, me, I deal with them a little bit differently depending because a lot of women I know, they are very emotional, they're very erratic, and I can't talk to them the same way I would talk to my male friends because they'd be like, "Oh my God, I can't believe you said that to me." Like, "Oh my God, da 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 da." So I'm like,
Sure. Sure. We don't deliver the message the same way. Absolutely.
I feel like you have to talk to them differently though.
Yes, we deliver the message differently for genders. Absolutely. They're still treated the same though.
Give me an example.
Uh, let's say we need to give somebody some constructive feedback, aka criticism,
Okay.
right? With the guy, he might act like a bitch. So you might have to treat him like a bitch. You might have to treat him like a female. You see, people have different personality types, right? Again, this stuff often supersedes gender because people have personality types. Some women you can straight up criticize. In fact, they'll feel dissed if you didn't come straight out and criticize them directly.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that's not majority of women, obviously. So again, you'd have to take it on an individual basis. A person who I can read people and understand, what type of individual we're dealing with here. I can deliver the message usually to any individual exactly how that individual needs to hear it, depending on the, archetype of that individual
Mm-hmm.
from my own analysis. I can do that. Not everybody can do that. I think that's the problem with society. People have a really low social IQ. I have a really high social IQ. I get people. I understand people. I think if we took more time to understand ourselves and be more introspective, we'd understand other people. How can you see the flaws in others and not see the flaws in yourself?
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? So you got to balance that out. You got to do a lot of introspection. And when you see the flaws in yourself, you start to see them in others and you start seeing this reflection. You start seeing this you am I am you type thing happening. And then things kind of just become easier to mold. Let's say mold. So when I'm in this room, I can control the room based upon my own attitude, the way I move, how I react to certain situations.
Mm-hmm.
And when I say draw the line, not every situation needs a reaction.
That's true.
You see that? And that's what I mean by controlling yourself. You can control the room because not every action needs a reaction. And that's the thesis of my thought process.
When you said every action does not need a reaction, I actually resonate with that very, very well because with trading, because I'm looking at the chart right now and I'm probably going to have to get out of my position because it does require a reaction because I'm about to go underwater right now on my position.
Uh-oh. Better get out. Get out.
I think I'm going to. I don't know. I have my stuff set. I think it might be time to get out. I'm looking at a lower time frame right now, as I've been trading a little bit more often. I think I'm going to get out and I'm going to go ahead and re-enter because I think that's a good thing to do. And I'm actually going to close that right now, and I'll just get back in later. So let me just mark it. Close this. All right, we are out of the position, and I will get back in at 10:08. So thank you for reminding me because you just I made a little bit of money, a little bit of profit. But anyways, so that's how you would deal with with somebody that's living with you.
That's how I deal with anybody.
Well, but it's different. So let's talk about work. Let's say let's say you have a corporate job. You work in a corporate job. Let's say you have a female coworker that you need to go give some feedback to. You're going to talk to her differently than you would your partner.
I ain't saying shit to no female in the corporate environment.
that's what I'm saying is it's a different dynamic, and that's why I wanted to have this conversation because your partner, your woman at home, you're gonna there's a certain level of comfort. Like obviously
the only way I could talk to or give constructive feedback to a female at the job place is if I'm her boss. If she's not reporting to me, somebody else gonna have to deliver that message. I ain't delivering that message in a corporate environment. Her superior is gonna have to deliver that message.
How do you? Because at my old job, they used to make me do that. I used to have to tell people that were above me in rank what to do. I used to have to tell people that were my same rank what to do. I used to have to deal with different departments. Like I had to deal with the president of the company before. I had to deal with the head of finance. I had to deal with head of legal. I had to deal with all these important people and kind of say, hey, well, we need to do X, Y, and Z because they would have me go do it because they didn't want to do it. How do you tell them no?
Yeah. So rule number one in corporate environment, never be the bearer of bad news.
Right. But how do you get out of that? Let's say you're working
defer. You've got to defer. I'm going to tell him, like, her superior. Who's her superior? Her superior is going to have to deliver that message.
I know, but what happens if your superior says you need to go talk to Shelly over here and you need to
I'm
go
going.
talk to Karen?
I'm going to tell my superior. You gonna have to tell her. I'm not telling her nothing, nigga. You her superior. You tell her. I'm not telling her that. I'm not her superior. She don't report to me. Show me somebody reporting to me, and I'll tell them everything I need to. I'm directly responsible for that person. I'm not responsible for Shelly. You are. You gonna have to deliver that message. And if you want to fire me, that's cool.
Okay.
And not, and again, your boss is actually going to respect you, right? Because who's saying no to the boss, right? At some point, you got to stand up to the boss and be like, nah, I ain't doing that, boss. I'm sorry. I love you to death. I picked up a couple of shits for you, whatever it was, I got your back. But that right there, homie, that ain't happening.
Excuse me. How does
You
one
can
get in
make me team lead. You can make her report to me. Oh, and then I'll deliver it. Put me team lead. Add a little more money to my check, and then I'll take care of that for your boss. But until they report directly to me, I'm not. No, that's.
healthcare doesn't work that way though?
Oh, I know. My girl's in healthcare.
It does not work that way. It's very, very
Oh, she be handling the motherfuckers. She be handling the motherfuckers. She don't fall for the okie doke.
good. I'm glad because it's
Oh
it's
no.
it's hard, man. When you're in healthcare, what happens is they make you got to go get, whether it's to college or to get your certification or your training. You get that, and then once you get that, they put all these additional tasks on top of you that you have to do that are outside of your realm. Because I used to do that stuff too. I'm like, I'm a freaking licensed pharmacy technician. You having me manage 200 to 300 patients a month, having me do all this stuff, and then now you want me to start doing finance reports? I don't know what the fuck this is.
The way people treat you is about where you draw the line. See how we
Right.
came back to that?
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you, it works in every single environment. Where you
Okay.
draw that line, because if you don't draw that line early, that line keeps getting pushed back further and further and further. I draw the line early with people. I draw the line on, like, I'm not laughing at your joke. Like, we hanging out and you say something funny, I might not laugh because I just draw the line. Like, I don't think you should be comfortable making jokes around me. I don't think we have that type of relationship where we should just be laughing and fraternizing. I don't view you like that. So I draw the line on how I deal with people. I draw the line on how much access people have to me.
Mm-hmm.
I draw the line on who I pick up the phone for. You might just only be able to text me. You might not be able to get me on the phone. I draw the line with my time. I draw the line what time I'm available. Um, and these are the things that are going to increase your respect and honor.
Mm-hmm.
People don't respect and honor things that are given freely, things that have public access. No, public access is like the public toilet.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh, nobody wants to use that thing. I'm no toilet. I'm no toilet. I am a very chic resort.
So what's interesting about me is I'm very aggressive. I'm very alpha for a female. I've got a lot of male traits. But one of the things I do is probably because of some of my childhood guilt and things that I've gone through, I feel the need that I need to please people. So I go out of my way to do X, Y, and Z. If somebody asks me something, I'll go ahead and do it. And I'll let people walk all over me. But recently, this last year, with my business, I really stopped. I put a stop to that, and I've been like, okay, well, you need to compensate me. If you want to get on the phone with me, that's going to be $200 an hour. If you want this, it's going to be this. If you da 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 da. So I've been starting to be more aggressive with that, but I'm also having a hard time with the boundaries because I feel like, okay, well, if I don't do this, then I'm going to get overlooked. They're going to give it to this person, or they're going to do whatever. So how do you? I guess we can phrase this in a relationship and in a work, like a business way, because at the end of the day, it is kind of the same. But it's like, how do you lay boundaries out, like on the first date or the first day of work, without being too domineering to where people are going to think that you're not that where people will not take advantage of you? How do you do that?
It's not about what you do. It's about what you don't do.
Okay.
It's not about what you say. It's about what you don't say. It's not about what you laugh at. It's about what you don't laugh at. Negation can also be a form of creation, to put it succinctly.
But then they might have questions about what you can and can't do if you don't lay it all out there for you
Wait,
for them.
what? Who could do what?
Let's say you go on a first date with somebody, and
Okay.
it's because you said it's about what you do, or it's not about what you do, but it's what about it's what I can't say it. You know what I'm talking about, though, right?
Hmm.
Okay.
Hmm.
So, what happens if you don't say anything? If they ask for something, what happens if you don't say it and they don't, because you didn't come out and say it, they think that it's okay?
One time I was on this date, and for the record, I was broke as shit, and I was dating this fancy girl, and we went to the movies, and we went in the theater, and we sitting down, watched a little movie, and movie was about to start, and she said, "You not gonna get me no popcorn?"
Ooh.
I was like, looking in my pockets. I'm like, I got just enough for some popcorn, you know. So I went, got a small popcorn, came back. Now, what you need with popcorn? You need a drink, right? It's like common sense would say you got to get a drink with popcorn, right? Well, I just got the popcorn. Came back, had a seat. So it was like, "You ain't bring no drink." So I turned, I looked at her, and I looked back at the screen, and that was the last I heard about that drink. Not everything warrants a response. If she wants a drink, she can get up. She get her own goddamn drink. She lucky she got popcorn.
A small popcorn with the extra butter and salt.
She lucky. She lucky she got that. Because usually when I go to the movie theater, I don't purchase anything. You
Right.
know,
I
usually
bring
that's
stuff in.
yeah. Women love to have snacks and shit. Like when I go with my fiance, oh yeah, we probably gonna have some a big old bag of popcorn and some drinks. There's
Mhm.
just that's how she move. Me by myself, like if I'm gonna go, no, I'm not stopping at the thing. I'm gonna go watch my movie, sit there, and then leave at the end. But that's not how women roll. That's just how it is. They always got to get a little extra. But again, I, not everything warrants a response.
Okay.
Just because you talking don't mean I gotta talk back.
Okay. I can get behind that. So, what about how do you deal with a difficult female acquaintance? Let's say that you and your fiance are out somewhere, and let's say that she has a female friend, or maybe a sister or a cousin that they're very close, but you don't jive with her. How do you deal with that? Because you can't just not say anything to them. Like of course, you come in, you say hi, how are you, the hug, the kiss, that type of stuff. But if you guys are sitting all at a dinner table together, and she's with her man, and she's trying to talk to you, like you have to kind of interact. At that point, you're kind of forced to interact.
Oh, it's a temporary moment. The night will be over soon, and I'll be on my way home, and we'll just laugh about how stupid her friend was.
Okay.
I got a lot of patience. My patience is very well put together. So yeah, she may bother me for the moment, but if you're going out with the ladies, it's usually the ladies. It's making sure my lady has a good time. I don't like going out. So if I'm going out, I'm already grumpy. I'm already ready to go home from the time I go out. Like as soon as we leave the house, I'm ready to just come back in. So
You and my husband are the same.
shout out to the homie. He feels my pain.
Unless it's just him and I. If it's him and I, he's happy because it's just us. But if we go
Yeah.
somewhere, like when I used to have the events before COVID, he would just kind of be like, just scoping everybody out, scoping everything. But he would be a little bit grumpy sometimes. Just like it's not that he didn't want to be there, but it was like he just likes his space.
We don't like being around people. People are
Hmm.
weird and stupid and corny and whack and boring and uninteresting. Um, add nothing to life, but that's another conversation separately, entirely. But when we go out and we're going out with a lady, it's very much about the lady having a good time. You
Mm-hmm.
know, it's very much about her having a smile on her face and coming home safely. You know, as long as the lady had a good time, nothing else really matters, right? Because when we go out, I'm not even present anyway. I'm probably spaced out thinking about something else, probably thinking about going home or something, right? Or I'm analyzing the room or something. Um, but I'm not looking to have a good time. But as long as she's having a good time, then I have a peace of mind.
Okay. So, but what happens if the best friend says something stupid to you that just irritates you, that just irks you? You just kind of let it roll off and,
Give me an example.
well,
Did she cuss me out?
no, because I don't think that
Just a
your
little
fiance.
rude, slick comment.
Yeah, because I don't think your fiance would be the type to hang out with somebody who would like cuss you out or whatever. You know,
Right, right.
I
Just
I
a
don't
little
think that she
rude,
would do that.
rude, slick,
Let's
slick
just,
comment. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
let's just say a rude comment, like something that's kind of backhanded. Because the reason
Mm,
why I say that, my mother in law is never given me like a backhanded comment, but I've seen her do with other people. And my husband sometimes will throw the backhanded comments to me, and I'm looking at him, I go, "You sound like your mother. You better roll it back a bit."
mm,
But what happens if she gives you like a backhanded comment that just really irks you that day or that specific time? How do you deal with that so you
mm,
don't get triggered, so you don't get mad? Because sometimes, no matter how cool, calm, and collective you are, sometimes people say dumb shit and it could just get under your skin. Maybe something happened. Maybe, let's say you got it from the table, you go to the bathroom, you bump some jerk bumps into you. You're kind of just like, because you already don't want to be there. You come back, sit down at the table, and she just throws a sly remark at you, and you're just like, I am not interested in this.
mm. Yeah, I mean, things like that happen. Um, again, it's not really about that person, it's about yourself, right? So I believe the first time we act like we didn't hear it, right?
Okay.
We don't feed it any energy. The second time, I ask the person to repeat themselves. And after they repeat themselves, I just give them a look. A look like, you're really just a worthless piece of shit, aren't you? like, that's the type of look we give them. Like, why do you even exist? It's just a look. It's just a look. And then we leave it at that. And usually people get the hint.
Okay.
Um, the third time, um, it's time to go. It's time to go. Uh,
Okay.
you know, whisper my lady, hey, look, it's time to go. We out of here. We out of here, shawty. Cutting the night a little short. You know what I mean? And she's gonna be like, all right, and we out of there. You know what I mean? Because we don't tolerate disrespect.
Okay. So, what advice would you give to me if, let's say I'm at a crypto event, and
Mm-hmm.
let's say I'm at one of my events, because everybody in crypto knows that I throw the best parties, I throw the best events, the best meetups. I do. I have people that remember my event from Bybit or from Tron or from this conference, whatever. I've hosted over 14 dozen of these events, free to everybody all the time, because I get sponsors, we get free drinks, we get all kinds of swag. I make the companies pay for it for the people.
I like it. I
I
like
do.
it.
That's my marketing. That's a way I pitch it to these companies. I say, you want marketing, you want positive brand awareness. Everybody loves free stuff.
Yeah.
You want people to not call your company a scam. You give me 40 grand. We're going to host a big party. We're going to make it fun. You're going to give free champagne, free shots, free this, free that, free sweatshirts, whatever the hell. Keep it open it to everybody. I'll get your name on this advertisement. I'll blast it on Twitter. I'll da 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 da.
Yeah.
People come, they're happy. They're
Yeah.
happy with me, happy with the client's happy, conference is happy, everybody's happy.
Yeah. Yeah. I love it. I love it. That's how it's done.
It is. But yeah, and they'll end up seeing the results later on, because a lot of these companies, they want clicks, and I'm like, you know what?
Eh,
We'll get the clicks later. We're trying to promote positive brand awareness, and you do that by giving back to the community, because that's what
yeah.
people want. People want free shit. But
Mm,
anyways, let's say I'm at an event as a female, because you said that gender doesn't matter, but gender does matter, because I've been at some of these things and some of these dudes come by and they're just looking at me like whatever, and it's just like with the dude it's different. I can be like if you're tossing me dirty looks or whatever with the dude, I can just like play it off like I'm this, like, oh hi, how, thank you for coming, have a good time. But if it's a female that comes to my event that don't like me, that's being catty, how do you deal with that as another woman? Because as a man, you've got that on lockdown. And
Mm,
men, tone of voice is different. When a
mhm,
man tells a woman something, women are generally more likely to listen, as opposed if a female says something. And the reason why, females are always competing with each other all the time, no matter what. They are very cutthroat. They want to gossip behind your back. And this is why I don't have a big group of female friends, is because I'm not interested in that. If you got a problem with me or you don't like something I'm doing, come to me and tell me. Don't
mm.
sit and say stuff behind my back. So how would you deal with that? What advice would you tell me on how to deal with that? Because I'm sure that there's some females watching this are like, I've been in the same situation as Wendy. I've been at a company event, or I've been at event with my man, or I've been at just out and about, and a woman has been really cattying me. How do you deal with that? Because sometimes you do have to say something, and if you don't say something, it could cause some further issues, and things can escalate at the party or the event.
Mm. So yeah, you come to my party acting stank. I'm calling security. You got to go. Just kick them out. Because what they're gonna do, they're gonna get mad, they're gonna make a big fuss, and then it turns into a nice little story. Remember, such and such got kicked out of Wendy's O's? Yeah, yeah. And so then people know you don't come to my party if you're gonna be acting stank.
Okay, well, let's say we're at a dinner. Let's say we're at a dinner,
Okay.
and
And
there's a
she's
female.
acting stank.
Let's say we're at like a dinner. It's a small
Same
intimate.
protocol.
You
It's the
you
same.
cannot call security and have them escort dumb hoe over there for being rude.
No, no, not that protocol. My
Okay,
protocol.
okay.
First,
Tell. I want to hear
first
this.
strike, first strike, we act like we ain't hear it. We don't even give a mm. In fact, on the second try, where they try you, the second time they try you, you ask them what is that? What is that you just said to me? And allow them to repeat themselves for everyone. And then after they say it, you go, hmm. And then you give them that look like you're just a piece of shit, aren't you? All right. You look at them like Donald Trump looks at Joe Biden.
I love the way, you know what, people can say whatever they want to say about Trump, and I'm not saying I'm supporting him or whatever. I'm just saying he is a troll,
Oh
and
yeah.
you have to at least respect the way he trolls people. Like,
Mm, mm, mm. And then on the third strike, it's time to go. All right. It's time to
what happens
go.
if it's online?
Oh, we hit the block button.
Immediately you hit the block button.
Oh, absolutely. No
What
form of
happens if
disrespect.
what happens if it's a colleague that you work with and that you could be working with within the space? And because blocking, okay, this is the thing. I love to
I don't give
block
a
people.
fuck.
Huh?
I don't give a fuck who it is. I remember one time, actually, I can remember two prominent individuals amongst political Twitter who came in my mentions, and he got blocked just like everybody else. And people questioned it and said, why would you block this person? They're your idol. They mean something to you. They don't mean anything to me. I don't tolerate disrespect. Remember what I said. It's where you draw that line.
Okay.
I don't give not even a centimeter of room to disrespect me.
Okay.
I draw the line very quick and very early, and I don't care who you are.
The reason why I ask is I'm just kind of curious, because like I work in a very small industry. It's a very niche industry. So let's say there's like 10 girls. So let's say I have a problem with a girl and I block her, and it's like a big dramatic like huge thing.
Beautiful. That it has none of my business. All of that would happen after the block would be none of my business. I've had that happen before. I block this prominent individual, and now there's a whole bubble that has been created around that conversation of me blocking this person,
Okay.
right? Now that bubble exists on the other side of my block. I'm on this side. What's happening on the other side of the block is none of my business.
Okay.
I'm not even engaged. They're blocked. Therefore, you are left in the past. You have no room to exist in my present. I'm not talking about it. I'm on to the next one. I got too much shit going on to be worried about this person to even have another conversation or explain why I blocked them. I blocked you. We moving on to the next one because I'm gonna block somebody 2 minutes later.
But what happens if you have to give a statement about it?
I don't give statements about my actions. I
Okay.
don't explain myself to people. You know, the only two people I will ever explain myself to is my mama and my daddy
Okay.
and God. That's it. Maybe my kids. I give my kids explanations about things all the time that I do. Right.
Well, you have
So
to. That's your kids because you got to guide them. That's your job.
right. They got to
Well, it's not.
understand how
Yeah,
dad
it's not.
works.
I guess it's not. I guess you don't have to answer to them like it's forced, but it's like, well,
It's not
you do.
answering to them. It's letting them understand
It's part of
how
your job.
let them understand my job and the thought process behind the decisions I have to make as a dad.
Okay, fair enough. I was just curious. I wanted to just understand because
Oh, it's a block. They're not colleagues. If you come at me crazy, you are an ex-colleague.
okay. Yeah, the reason why I wanted to ask is because I was having a conversation with somebody about because gender gets brought up a lot in my space and in crypto they're like, well, gender this and gender that da, 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 da. So I was just kind of curious to get your take. Do you treat men and women differently, like the different type of context? And I was just kind of curious because the things that you say I hold at a higher like on a pedestal compared to to some anonymous avatar on crypto.
Right. Exactly. These people are anonymous, and what have they contributed? What have they contributed to society? This is how I judge people. What have you contributed that nourishes life, that nourishes people, that nourishes the next generation? All you got is drama. I don't
That's
have
true.
time for it. I don't have time for
Well,
it. Kids can't eat drama.
that's true. All right. Well, let's go ahead. I want to go over some tweets. Because there was another. So I'm going to tell you this before we go into the tweets because I want.
Shout out to Hotep Tiger, $10 super chat. Just send him my blessing, Hotep. We appreciate you, Hotep Tiger.
Thank you. What was I going to say? So we don't
Some
have an.
tweets.
What happened?
Some tweets.
Oh, tweets. Well, before we do the tweets, really quick on the next, because we don't have time to do it today because it's going to be like a long, I think, more of an emotional thing. But next show, I want to both talk about the moment that we felt that we lost control. Because I'm sure that it happened at a time when we were both, well, mine happened when I was a kid and how that impacted us and how we take that into our personal relationships, but not on today's
Mm,
show. Because I want you to think about it. I've been thinking about mine for a while, but I want to do a couple tweets.
let's do it.
Okay. So, first tweet. I didn't read. Hold on a second. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see.
I remember 2 moments in my life where I lost control. So I'll
Don't
be
say
ready.
it. Don't say it. You don't
I'll
say
be
it.
I'll be ready.
Okay. So this is one. So somebody said, "Why do women?" Somebody that doesn't follow me, so I'm not going to shout them out. Why do women keep trying to be funny? I've only known one woman who was funny who wasn't a dyke. She had a narcissistic personality disorder and had a biting antisocial humor that made everyone hate her, which was great for me. This is what you women want with a question mark.
Mm. I don't know. I think women are funny.
I do too.
I,
I think men and women can be funny in different ways.
I think women just being women are just funny. I hear some of the things women say and their breakdown of things, and sometimes it just cracks me up. And it cracks me up because it's so cute. It's just like, oh wow, that's so cute. But I adore women. I think women are fucking great, right? Um, and I don't know. I've heard that before, like where they say, women aren't funny, and it's just like I don't know. That sounds like more little dick energy.
Yeah, I think women are funny. I think that each individual person they
Have you
have
ever listened to Tree of Logic?
no tree of
Yeah,
life.
yeah, I was listening to one of her latest broadcasts, Tree of Logic. A very, very interesting individual. But I was listening to her one of her recent broadcasts this weekend, just cleaning up around the house. And when I tell you, I was cracking up. I lost it. She is hilarious. She's just a character, right? Um, She's really funny. So I don't know what people mean when they say that stuff, but when it comes to funny women, Tria Logic is right up there with the best of them.
Well, I'm gonna have to check it out because I there's some people who are just funny and there's some people who are not funny. And I think just because someone's a woman doesn't mean that they're less funny. Maybe you just don't understand their humor because you're an incel. But I think that anyways, okay. We'll go over this one.
First of all, in order to not know that women are funny, you'd have to not be around women. And that's the problem here. They're just not around women. Women don't want to be around them. They're creepy. If women wanted to be around you, you'd be able to learn about the special attributes of women. But women don't want to be around you, and that's the problem. That's why you don't know funny women because you're never around them.
There's a funny TikTok. I'm actually going to post it on crypto Twitter because it cracked me up. But it basically was this guy, and he was like that. That saying, "You can't turn a hoe into a housewife."
Oh yes.
Well, he said he's like, you guys are out here saying you can't turn a hoe into a housewife, but you don't even have a house to put the hoe in.
And that's a whole nother problem.
Mhm. We're not going to talk about that one tonight. All right, I don't think we talked about this one. But TEDx London posted this, and this was posted last week on September 5th. Why we're using woman. But so what they did was they spelt it WOMXN. No, that's not a typo. Woman is a spelling of woman that's more inclusive and progressive. The term sheds light on prejudice, discrimination, and institutional barriers women have faced, and explicitly includes non-cisgender women.
Especially includes
I don't even know what
not
non.
cisgender means you identify as your biological gender, sex, and
Okay, so
so you have
isn't that just? But okay, so cisgender. Wait, hold on. I'm going to read it. Cisgender is a term for people whose gender. Okay, that's cisgender. Cisgender is a term for people whose gender identity matches their sex assigned at birth. So basically, cisgender is people that do not identify with their gender that they were given at birth.
non-cisgender people are people who do not identify with the gender that they were given at birth. Correct.
Okay, so basically,
So for these people, um, they've removed the E from women um, because they hate men. They don't want to be men, which is why they chose to be a woman. Um, so allow them to spell words however they see fit. It's none of my business. I'm going to use the English language how I feel I'm going to use it. And if these people want to use an X, then let X mark the spot.
my only thing is that I don't want other people really speaking for me on that. Like I'm a woman. I was born a woman. I'm proud to be a woman. I think that I think both men and women have amazing qualities and they're different. If somebody wants to be trans and they want to become, if a man wants to become a woman, that's fine, but that don't make you a woman. Because
Oh,
women, I,
drink my tea to that.
well, the thing is, and it's nothing against them, and that's totally fine. Some people have an urge or they have a feeling, or sometimes they were
What
put
makes
in
what makes one a woman?
the ability to have a monthly cycle, number one, because the reason why we have our monthly cycle is to get our body prepared to have children. Women can have children. I had a child, delivered her myself, and it's a very, very, very beautiful thing.
Well, you
Um,
have some trans people who can deliver babies. They install the uterus and have C sections. Is that a woman?
no, it's not.
That's hate speech.
Well, I'm not going to say I'm sorry.
And this is the conundrum we face in 2020 with the Alphabet City.
They cannot get a uterus implanted in them and have kids. Doesn't work.
I think they're trying it.
Okay, they can try, but until it scientifically works, it's not. You're not a woman.
Hold on, let me just make sure.
Please, because I'm kind of I'm not upset about it because I listen. I worked in the gay community for a very long time. I have nothing against that community. I've got nothing against people that are transgender too, just as long as they don't mess with kids. But I do believe in science. I believe in math and nature and stuff like that. And you can't really mess with too much of that stuff because there are repercussions.
Uh, let's see here. Implants, transgender, uterine transplantation, and during the defined OBGYN, uterine transplantation, and transgender women. Following successful clinical trial investigation in Sweden, result in 8 live births so far.
Huh?
Think we have 8 live births so far
How?
for
How does that work?
uterine transplantation in transgendered women.
So it was a man that got a uterus implanted in him?
Following a successful clinical trial investigating uterine transplantation in Sweden, resulting in 8 live births so far, appears to be a viable therapeutic option for women with absolute uterine factor infertility. Um, Now, I'm not sure if this is a biological man or woman,
Um,
male or female. I have to do some
okay,
more investigation.
so okay. Can you also look into if they're able to have a monthly cycle?
Oh, when you give the white man science, he can do anything he wants. He plays God. He decides to play. So here's an article. Could
I'm
Jan?
not with that
So
man.
I,
Well, it's not my body, so I don't really care. They can do what they want to do. It just as it sounds like a hot effing mess to me.
might have a trans woman question about like Demi Moore, though published as part of sci-fi. It seems like it's sci-fi right now, but
Okay.
I think they're
I don't
working
think
on.
they're going to be able to. I really, really don't. Because let me tell you, there's some things that happen when you start messing with science. Like if you look at what is that technology called with the genetics where they cut it and then they paste it onto another part of genetics?
Hmm.
There's a specific term. Is it splicing?
Yeah, that could be it.
I think that's what it's called, but they've had a lot of issues with that too because they're trying to do that for like different things with stem cells and with cancers and leukemia and HIV, AIDS. And you can't just because it's doable doesn't mean that nature's not going to reject it. This is. I'm just going to say this because it's something that I always remembered. But they said, like, if you watch any of these sci-fi movies or any of these like darker stuff where they're involving witchcraft and bringing people back from the dead, there's always like an old witch or old somebody that says, "Listen, you cannot. This is like the only spell you can't do because you cannot alter life and death. You can't." You don't get to be the creator. You don't get to decide. And there's always really bad consequences that happen. I know that some of that stuff, whatever, but the reason why I brought it up is because you cannot be messing with science. You can't be, or not even science, but with nature. You can't to an extent because things go crazy, things go haywire.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You definitely don't want to mess with nature. Um, well, it looks like they're happening successfully. Uterine transplants are happening successfully in women. Will they work with the biological male's body is another thing that remains to be seen.
That's great. I mean, that's the thing that I want to know because I just don't know how it would work in a male's body. Because, like for example, like when I was pregnant and after I had the baby, I was my breast produced milk because that was food for the baby. So
Mm.
let's say that you are a man who wants to become a woman, and then you decide you want to have a baby, so you get the uterus implanted in you. Your body is not going to be able to generate milk for this child.
Mm, Bringing up a lot of valid points there. Some valid biological distinctions between male and female. You're bringing up there, Miss Wendy O. Dangerous rhetoric, I would say, to those who stand on the left of Donald Trump. Chad Lemoyne, 499 Super Chat, he said, when you're building an empire, no time to explain why you swatted some mosquitoes. F the mosquitoes, annoying bloodsuckers. Anyway, exactly. They're nothing but
Okay,
mosquitoes.
I'm tweeting that. I like it.
Yeah. Kent Thoreau, 199 Super Chat. 2 plus 2 equals 5. Don't at me. Hotep and Bill. Hotep and Bill. Shout out to Kent Thoreau. Dropping them history bars on Instagram
Mm-hmm.
and the Twitters. He's also a member of the Mogul Summit I do every Saturday. Shout out to the Mogul Summit.
I'm gonna get in that when I want to start my charity.
Anytime you'd like to be a guest, you'd like to come on and talk to people about how to build your YouTube channel, I'd love to have you on as a guest.
I
And
would
come.
when you want me to come on, let me know because I've learned the stuff that I sent you. Have you started using those?
What?
Remember when you're having trouble with the mic and I says look at this mic or da da da,
Oh,
and then
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I sent you the links for the titles and then the SEO, the SEO thing.
Oh, oh, yeah. Well, I'm very familiar with that software. I do appreciate you
Okay.
sending that. I currently use vidIQ.
Okay.
I'm just too lazy to actually sit down and do it. Um, I have much better things to do with my time. But I think that people who will dedicate their life to YouTube should look into those things. I have a very different perspective when it comes to marketing and advertising and social media. I do things quite differently, although I can't say the tools you sent me are rubbish. They are not. They are very useful tools, but I use vidIQ.
Okay.
The software you use may very well be better than vidIQ. I shall investigate. But that is why I want you to come to the Mogul Summit one Saturday
All
to
right.
talk to people about the things, the best practices they should do with YouTube. I had a gentleman come on, Chris, Coach Chris. He came on a couple of weeks ago and he talked to people about building their podcast. And that was a great session. People loved it, picked his brain. So having you on to talk YouTube and monetization and working with sponsors, I think will be of great benefit to the group.
Awesome. After we move, because we're supposed to move the week of October 1st. So after we move, and once we get settled, I would be honored to come on and talk to people. I was actually on a call with someone today. I can't say what he's doing with blockchain and crypto, but once he gets settled and once we start looking for investors, I'm really excited to tell you exactly what he's doing. I think you're going to think it's absolutely fucking amazing.
Mm.
Because it's never been done before. And just with some of the stuff that I know about you that you've done in the past, you're going to be like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Guess what?
What?
Lil man just got another month. He's covered up until March of 2021
All right.
for boxing training down at the gym.
I'm going to
Shout out
tell,
to Kyle Payne. Shout out to Kyle Payne for making that happen. Kyle Payne, we appreciate you here at the show.
thank you. What I'm gonna do is once this episode processes, I'm gonna go back to the super chat. Can you, or actually, can you see who sent the donations for the gentleman, for the boy, and then I can go ahead and I'll give him a shout out on Twitter. If you guys are watching this and if you guys donated, please send me a DM on Twitter or go ahead and comment and say I donated, and I would love, and you can put your Twitter handle. I would love to give you a shout out. And would you be open to retweeting that, Hotep?
Oh, but of course.
So I would appreciate if you guys did that. I would really love, and if there's anything I can do to ever help you for helping me help this child, please let me know. If I appreciate it a lot. I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna cry.
Oh, this is how we change lives. It's a beautiful thing. This is why God gives us platforms because we can change lives, and this is it happens right here.
I'm gonna tell him. I'm gonna tell him he is going to be the next Mike Tyson.
Oh yeah, Floyd Mayweather, all of that. Sweet Pea, Purnell, Whitaker, all of that, all of that, all of that, all of that.
Do you got anything else before we get going?
Um, no, I'm
Are
just
you still?
recording these.
Are you still researching non-cisgenders with the uterus implantation?
Oh no, I've decided not to look into that any longer, as it would make me vomit. I'm just recording the names here of the people who have donated to make sure that we can give them their
Okay. Yeah,
notoriety.
send that to me, and then right after I get the baby out of the bath, I will tweet that, and then I'm going to also DM the trainer, Miss Nita, and let her know and get.
Shout to Miss Nita.
Yeah,
You see,
she's.
we're helping two people. We're helping. Not only are we helping a young man build a beautiful future and learn the discipline of physical fitness, we're also helping a small business.
Mm-hmm.
And small businesses with more capital can hire people. That's how you create jobs. That's how you build a strong economic base in your local community. Support small business. So I love it, man. This is great.
Do you know that you know who she hires? She hires kids that come train in her gym to train. She teaches them how to fight and whatever, and then she has them start training and leading classes. So she's doing the most that she can do really to make our city a better city. We have a
Mm,
very high murder rate considering where we're located. There's crime that goes on. There's prostitution. There's drugs. The schools are terrible here, and she has really. I don't like the term safe place because I think people misuse it. But what she's doing, she has a safe place for people to come in and to train and to better themselves and to get some confidence. And she talks to them about getting off the street and that they don't have to deal dope, but they don't have to join gangs. They can come train in her gym instead of acting a mess. So
mm, mm.
this is this is it.
Yeah, we need more places like that. We need to support places that exist like that. Shout out to L Walker 24.99 super chat. I see you, homie. Thank you for supporting the show. But yeah, it's all that's what it's all about, man. Hotep and Bill support small business.
All right. Well, again, you guys, thank you to everybody who donated. I will be starting a charity or GoFundMe or doing something. I don't know exactly how it's going to work yet, but I want to make it to where I'm not just helping my city. I want to help different cities across the United States and one day in other countries, and really give the power to the gym owners or the martial art owners and get them to let the
You know
kids.
what you should do?
What?
You should really, I think, centralize around that Miss Nita's gym.
Okay.
Centralize it and set the goal to like something realistic, like how many kids do we want to bring to that program, you
Okay.
know, and make that like, because you have the umbrella idea, right, which is doing things across the nation. So under the umbrella idea is like Project One, right, and that Project One is Miss Nita's gym, and how many boys can we take,
And
um,
girls.
and girls, yes, absolutely. How many girls can we take and get them in the gym to learn the power of discipline and physical fitness? I think
Right.
it's a beautiful idea. And let's, put a goal to it. Say, hey, we want to sponsor 10 kids, for a few months, whatever that time, and hit that goal.
All right. I'm going to talk to her a little bit. I'm going to see her next Tuesday. I'm going to DM her right when I get off with you, but send me the names of the people. But again, you guys, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Not only do you made me feel good inside, but my trainer, the gym owner, she's going to be over the moon excited. She's probably going to throw something down and say, motherfucker, because that's what she does.
Yeah, that's good energy.
It's good energy, and she's really doing some good work. And this little boy, he's going to be. I think his when they heard that he was getting sponsored, their faces lit up, and the grandma was like, like
Yeah, yeah,
you know.
yeah. That's love. That's love.
But all right, you guys, thank you so much. Please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, set alerts. We will see you next Wednesday, and bless up, be well.
Hotep.